Hey everyone, welcome or welcome back. This evening we are using a soap that be my first time using this actual scent. That is Fuzzy Face from 345 or 345. Scent notes on this, if I can recall correctly, apricot, Haitian vetiver, and I'm forgetting the third note. It's not bergamot. I can't remember. I'll pop them up on screen if I can't think about it. But it is in their Trinity base, which is you get 5.8 ounces. This is before they changed the base and raised the price. Either way, really good base. I like the Trinity base on there. The brush is going to be the Simpson's Chubby 2 Synthetic. Everything has been whipped up beautifully in the stainless steel HC&C bowl. Far too much lather, as per usual. The razor is going to be the TRC aluminum razor. I don't know how I feel about those little posts poking through. The TRC razor is very similar to the Game Changer in that you put the blade on the bottom cap, and then the two posts that you see, the top and bottom, are on the bottom cap, and they kind of poke up through the top cap. It's lightweight. I like the design of the handle. The head kind of reminds me a lot of the Henson as far as the geometry. I have heard this is a medium to mild to medium razor with a lot of efficiency. So little to no blade feel with an efficient razor, kind of like the Henson or the Mula Companion. So we'll see how that works tonight. Going off of 24 hours worth of growth. I did only do a 2-pass shave yesterday. Also with the DE. Maybe I got this a little too much hydrated. I haven't used 345 in it with this brush particularly in a little bit. So I've used 345 no bowl lather, that's just not with this particular knot. Each knot, as you know if you're watching this channel, is slightly different. It takes a little bit, holds water differently and all that fun stuff. So not only is the base different, if you change soaps frequently like I do and change brushes, if you're not using the same knot, they'll connect differently. Anyway, getting on with the razor. The balance point you'd think would be right here, but it's not. It's a little more up here. I'm not gonna mess with the balance point because there is a blade in there. This is a second use RK chromium blade. Not a lot of blade or audio feedback, but it is, I can hear it a little bit. Not a lot of blade feel, but I can, as far as the blade goes, I can definitely tell it is cutting. Maybe the chromium blade is not the best pairing for this particular razor. It's not tugging. But I can tell that it is definitely cutting the hair. I mean, I can feel the cutting without the blade feel, if that makes sense. Under the nose, a little bit of a scoop. Not bad so far. Generally speaking, I prefer a little bit of blade feel. Just personal preference, although having a razor like this with minimal to no blade fill, or the Henson, or the Mula Companion, or lower plate on the Carve. It's not a bad thing. I know not everyone likes blade feel. So far, pretty decent as far as efficiency. There's plenty of stubble in the lather there, so it's not too bad. Gonna get a little bit knot a little more. One thing with the chubby is it does seem to, there's a pretty decent lather flow through. Meaning if you bowl lather and splay in the bowl to create the lather, this doesn't hold on to a lot in the knot. And like I said, I may have slightly hydrated this, a little bit more than intended. Just for a little bit lower structure, lower density. This would be fantastic for like a Chevette or a straight razor. This is still, again, not bad for a DE, but for DE, I like a little bit higher density lather than this. I'm not seeing this as bad lather. Still really enjoying this so far. Love the scent. Wish I could remember that third scent note. So I've been a little silent for a couple weeks because my back took a couple steps backwards in treatment. So for a while there, it was painful to sit for too long. Really do much of anything. Luckily, for the most part, I was able to sit in my office, in my chair, in my home office here, and work for most of the day. Occasionally I had to stand up and walk around a little bit. But there were days when it was extremely painful, where I would shower and climb into bed because I just couldn't stand up any longer. Other days where I shaved, I just wanted to get the shave done quickly because it was hurting. Needed the shave. So I did everything off camera, just because I couldn't stand long enough to record and do everything else. So I'd go my lather, shave, and go lie down. Had therapy this morning or today. Had pool therapy last week and again later this week. Going back to doing both once a week until I get back to where I was previously, that kind of point. I was talking to therapists today. One of them was a student that the director is working with. The director's a guy that I know. He lives in my neighborhood. So I was talking to the student today, and Logan was like, yeah, I think I just got worked a little bit too hard. I don't know what triggered it. It could have been doing some exercises. My SI kind of just became out of alignment. The SI is kind of the hip joint. So that may have done something to it. I've just been hobbling around since then, but they realigned the SI, did a couple of things, and I said, you know, luckily I've worked in the healthcare industry for 15 years. This isn't my first go around with physical therapy. I've had therapy on my shoulder and back and hip, pre and post op our shoulder and back. So, you know, I understand that you make progress and sometimes you regress. And now it's just in a regression. Sometimes progress is slow, you're just really good. So the student I was talking to says, yeah, you know, a lot of people don't understand that with physical therapy or medicine in general. But, you know, medicine is not an exact science. There's a lot of things that can go into it, so I understand that, but I've worked in healthcare, so not as a healthcare provider, but as a vendor and also patient in many aspects. So I gotta see things that a lot of people don't get to see. I had conversations with doctors and that. Just as part of their job. So remember, folks, if you're being treated for something like a chronic pain in any part of your body, going to physical therapy or chiropractor or whatever that may be, massage therapist, if you make progress and go back a little bit, that's kind of normal. Don't stress. Okay, subsequent passes with this blade, not too bad. Still not a whole lot of blade fill, which again isn't a bad thing. I tend to prefer a little bit of blade fill on razors like I would get with the Blackland Blackbird or the Timeless 95 or the Roca or the Above the Tie Calypso that I have, or even higher plates on the Carve. I just prefer a little bit more blade fill that I'm getting with this razor, generally speaking. Is that blade fill needed? No. Can you get an excellent shave without blade fill? Absolutely. Because you have stuff like lower plates in the Carve, the Game Changer, the Milo Roca, Henson, that all have medium blade fill or none. And still provide excellent shaves. I'm getting a really good close shave with this, comfortable. It's smooth. So I'd say if you're someone that's newer to DE razors, this would be a good one to try. Definitely a good daily driver for those that may have a little bit more sensitive skin, can't shave daily. There's certain kinds of razors I better look at. So, buddy. There you go. You go to sleep?
I think so.
All right, good night. That wasn't too bad. There we go. So, with any luck, my back will be getting better again. I feel pretty good right now after therapy. Hopefully it stays that way. I don't tweak it again. And that was tweaked at therapy. I just got worked a little bit too hard. And here's something else. For people that are in physical therapy, massage therapy, chiropractor, whatever that may be, if you're seeing your specialist, the person's treating you, and they work you a little bit hard one day and you kind of regress, don't hold it against that therapist. Simply because, as you're going through your program, physical therapy, massage therapy, whatever that may be, They're progressing you with your exercises to get you better, which is what they want to do, get you better and out, not keep you coming back. So again, medicine's not an exact science. It's kind of an art with science involved. So if you're going along and you have your treatment and you regress, maybe they worked a little bit too hard, don't know what it is as a therapist. They're trying to help you progress through the programs, adding new exercises and increasing difficulty to help you get better. Sometimes they push a little too hard and you regress. That's not normal. Well, it's normal, not super common. I don't know how common it is, but it happens. So again, don't hold it against the therapist that does that. They don't mean to make you regress to a previous state when they're trying to get you better and out of the clinic or your treatment so you can get back to normal life. Anyway, rant over. Not really a rant, but whatever. Anyway, that was a great shave. 345, fuzzy face. I really dig this end. It's sweet, but not too sweet. You have the apricot, and I still can't remember that stinking third note. That is just beautifully blended. That Haitian vetiver kind of tones down the sweetness. It's gorgeous. I don't know if you're still doing the 5.8 ounce pours. I can't recall what the price is right now on 345 soaps, but I'm looking forward to trying their new base. I should be getting some of those hopefully later this year. But the razor shouldn't surprise me. Shaves really nicely. I'd put this in the same realm as like the Companion or the Henson. Mild, minimal blade feel if any, yet really efficient. So I like the handle design too. I think it's really cool. I wish this were a little bit not so tapered at the bottom. You can see that. But I like the design of this. This is darker than I thought it would be. I thought it was more of a dark gray rather than black. But anyway, I digress. You can see the blade exposure, blade gap, but still not aggressive at all. Very impressed thus far with the first shave of the TRC DE. Y'all know I love the Hendrix Classics bowl. And the Chubby 2 is a very thick knot. Has really good flow through. So, really good brush. Anyways, the synthetic, I haven't tried the natural hair. And I'm rambling. So, I'm gonna do the cold water rinse and clean up everything else off camera. Y'all been here for almost 18 minutes. Far too long. So I'm gonna call it here for the evening. Thank you again for those that have tuned in and made it this far into the video. If you're subscribed, thank you. If you're not subscribed, hit the subscribe button. And I'll catch y'all next time.